café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air.
I've written a little song using some key words and phrases from 3-Minute French Course 1. It's just a fun and catchy way for you to practice some of the vocabulary that you learnt in these lessons, and there are a few new words and phrases too. The first verse, or le premier couplet, starts with Bonjour, bonjour, une table pour moi.
Bonjour, bonjour. Une table pour moi.
Can you remember what that means? Bonjour means hello. Une table is a table, and pour moi means for me. So it means hello, hello, a table for me. This song is basically a little story of a lady, Marie, who goes to a little café in Paris. Marie then goes on to talk about the waiter. She says, Le serveur est sympa.
Le serveur est sympa.
You might know the words est and sympa from course 1. They mean is and nice. But you might not have met le serveur yet. Le serveur means the waiter. There are actually a couple of ways to say waiter in French. Le serveur or le garçon. Le garçon. Literally, serveur means server, which is a term we have in English to talk about a waiter, mainly in America. And then garçon literally means boy. And whilst you will hear it occasionally, nowadays it's considered fairly outdated, so it's best to stick with serveur. So our new friend Marie says,
Le serveur est sympa.
Le serveur est sympa, meaning the waiter is nice. The waiter then shows her to a table and says, Ici, voilà.
Ici, voilà.
Ici means here, and she must nod or smile in agreement because he then says voilà, which means here you go. Voilà is one of those little French words that seems simple but carries a whole world of meaning. Literally, it comes from the old French phrase voilà, meaning see there, and over time it's become a single word, voilà. You'll hear it a lot to mean here you are, or there you are. Voilà un café. Voilà un café. Here's a coffee. Et voilà. Et voilà. And there you go. Voilà le menu. Voilà le menu. Here's the menu. Marie then starts to sing the chorus, or le refrain.
Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie.
Au café, à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. The first bit means at the cafe in Paris, it's perfect, it's life. The phrase c'est la vie is a very common expression in French. It means it's life, that's life, or even this is the life. And it's used in exactly the same way that we say that's life in English. It can be used to express both resignation in a negative situation and joy in a positive one. In the negative tone, it's sort of like, oh well, never mind. Mon train est annulé, c'est la vie. Mon train est annulé, c'est la vie. My train has been cancelled. Oh well, that's life. Il a oublié mon anniversaire, c'est la vie. Il a oublié mon anniversaire, c'est la vie. He has forgotten my birthday. Oh well, that's life. But in the positive tone, it can be used to celebrate life's beauty. In English, we tend to say something like, this is the life. Un bon repas entre amis, c'est la vie. Un bon repas entre amis, c'est la vie. A good meal amongst friends, this is the life. Le café chaud, c'est la vie. Le café chaud, c'est la vie. Warm coffee, this is the life. So Marie is simply expressing a kind of joyful appreciation for sitting in that café in Paris. In actual fact, generally in French, if they're using it in a more positive way, they would add a little extra and say something like, c'est la belle vie. C'est la belle vie, meaning this is the good life, or literally this is the beautiful life, but that wouldn't quite fit into this song. Au café, à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie.
Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie.
At the cafe in Paris, it's perfect. This is the life. She then sings un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air.
Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air.
This means a coffee, an éclair, and sunshine in the air. So you have a few new words that you won't have seen in course 1. Du soleil. Du soleil means sunshine. Dans is in, and l'air means the air. Then we have le deuxième couplet. Le deuxième couplet means the second verse. Marie orders what she'd like for her afternoon in the Parisian Café. She says, Je voudrais un café, la soupe de carottes, un éclair au chocolat.
Je voudrais un café, la soupe de carottes, un éclair au chocolat.
You should know most of this if you've done 3-Minute French Course 1. The phrase je voudrais means I would like, un café, a coffee, la soupe de carottes, the carrot soup, and un éclair au chocolat means a chocolate eclair. Now, the soupe de carottes is interesting. In English, we'd naturally say carrot soup, but in French they flip it around and say soup of carrot. The little word de means of. You can find all sorts of food and drink related vocabulary on my vocabulary expansion sheet called Au Restaurant, which is part of the 3-Minute French course. But for now, here are some more types of soup, mainly so you can see that de construction, as well as a few more examples of the same back-to-front structure in French. La soupe de légumes. La soupe de légumes. The vegetable soup, literally soup of vegetables. La soupe de tomate. La soupe de tomate. The tomato soup, or literally the soup of tomatoes. La soupe de poulet. La soupe de poulet. The chicken soup, or the soup of chicken. La soupe de poisson. La soupe de poisson. The fish soup, or literally the soup of fish. La soupe de champignons. La soupe de champignons. The mushroom soup, or the soup of mushrooms. The same structure is used if you want to say something like apple juice. You have to say juice of apple. Le jus de pomme. Le jus de pomme means the apple juice. Le jus de raisin. Le jus de raisin means the grape juice. Le jus de citron. Le jus de citron. The lemon juice. Le jus de tomate. Le jus de tomate. The tomato juice. Le jus d'orange. Le jus d'orange. The orange juice. Notice the little word de shortens to d apostrophe in front of a vowel. Jus d'orange rather than jus de orange. Anyway, so Marie orders a coffee, a carrot soup, and a chocolate eclair. Firstly, if you're not sure what a chocolate eclair is, you're definitely missing out. An eclair is a classic French pastry, light, elegant, and absolutely délicieux. It's a long, thin shape made from choux pastry, which is then filled with cream and usually topped with a layer of chocolate. The name itself, éclair, actually means lightning in French, and it is so named because it's eaten as fast as lightning. Now you might be wondering why it's soupe de carottes, but then éclair au chocolat. This is actually a rather tricky concept in French. It's not a vital thing for you to understand in order to speak French, especially at an early stage, but I'll explain it briefly here. If a food is made of something, meaning it's the main ingredient, you can use de. The main ingredient in carrot soup is carrots, so that's why we say la soupe de carottes, the soup made of carrots. The main ingredient in apple juice is apples, so we say le jus de pomme, the juice made of apples. However, a chocolate éclair isn't made of chocolate. It simply has a layer of chocolate on top. So that's why it's un éclair au chocolat rather than un éclair de chocolat. In fact, un éclair de chocolat would be an éclair made completely out of chocolate. The word au is a contraction of a and le, so it means to the. You can sort of imagine that the chocolate is being added to the éclair rather than being the main ingredient of it. The word au is used if the addition is masculine, but if it's feminine, you can use à la instead. Une mousse au chocolat. Une mousse au chocolat. A chocolate mousse. So mousse isn't made of chocolate, it's made of eggs or cream, and the chocolate is added to it, which is why we say une mousse au chocolat. Une glace à la vanille. Une glace à la vanille. A vanilla ice cream. Ice cream isn't made of vanilla, but the vanilla is added to it. So we say à la vanille. Un croissant au beurre. Un croissant au beurre. A butter croissant. So the croissant is not made of butter, but the butter is added to it. Un sandwich au fromage. Un sandwich au fromage. A cheese sandwich. Une tarte aux pommes. Une tarte aux pommes. An apple tart. So the tart isn't made of apples, the apples are added to it. Now, I understand that this is a tricky concept, and honestly, don't lose sleep over it. It won't affect your French learning in the slightest if you never think about this again. But this example might help to explain the difference between de and à in foods. La soupe de tomate. La soupe de tomate means the tomato soup. The main ingredient is tomatoes, the soup of tomatoes. La soupe à la tomate. La soupe à la tomate. The tomato-flavoured soup. Now this soup could have other ingredients, but has tomatoes as the main taste. So the tomatoes are added to the soup rather than being the main ingredient in the soup. Anyway, sorry about that tricky tangent. Back to Marie. What's she doing now? Oh yes, she's just ordered a coffee, a carrot soup, and a chocolate éclair. And now she's telling the waiter something. Let's listen in.
Tout est bon et voilà.
Tout est bon et voilà. Tout est bon et voilà. What does that mean? Tout est bon is taken straight from 3-Minute French, Course 1. It means everything is good, or all is good. Tout means everything, est means is, and bon means good. And then et voilà is just a little throwaway phrase that's said all the time in French. Et voilà. Sometimes French speakers add a little et voilà to the end of a sentence like this. It doesn't translate literally, but it adds a cheerful and there we go kind of feeling. So tout est bon et voilà is just a happy way of saying everything's good, and that's that. So Marie says tout est bon et voilà, and then she's off again singing the chorus.
Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air.
Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. At the cafe in Paris, it's perfect, that's life. A coffee, an éclair, and sunshine in the air. Oh, I should also just point out that the word café is a 2-in-1. It can mean both coffee and a café, depending on the context. Un café, s'il vous plaît? Un café, s'il vous plaît? A coffee, please. Avez-vous du café? Avez-vous du café? Do you have any coffee? Je vais au café. Je vais au café. I'm going to the café. Le café est plein aujourd'hui. Le café est plein aujourd'hui. The café is full today. After Marie finishes the second round of the chorus, she moves on to le troisième couplet, or the third verse. She's finished her lovely stay in the Parisian Café, and she's about to leave. Here's what she says.
Merci beaucoup, à bientôt.
Merci beaucoup, à bientôt. Merci beaucoup, à bientôt means thank you very much, see you soon. The word merci by itself means thank you or thanks, and you can add beaucoup to the end to mean thank you very much. The word beaucoup literally means much or a lot. There are a few nice ways to say thank you in French. I used to live in France and I would hear all of them every day. So merci means thank you. Merci beaucoup, thank you very much. Merci bien is thanks a lot. Un grand merci, a big thank you. Mille merci means 1,000 thanks. Or stepping away from the merci, you could say c'est gentil, that's kind. Or je vous remercie means I thank you. And if somebody says merci to you, you can reply with de rien, which means you're welcome. Or another nice phrase is avec plaisir. So de rien is you're welcome. Avec plaisir means with pleasure. And an extremely common response is simply à vous, which means and to you, or likewise, or you too. So if somebody says to you, merci, bonne journée, meaning thank you, have a nice day, you can say à vous aussi, and you as well. So Marie gives thanks to le serveur and bids a fond farewell, or rather a à bientôt. And then she has a little inner monologue moment.
J'adore les cafés. À Paris, il fait beau. Café à Paris.
So she says, j'adore les cafés. À Paris, il fait beau. J'adore les cafés means I love cafes. And then à Paris, il fait beau means in Paris, the weather is lovely. Firstly, j'adore is a very useful word. It does simply mean I love. There are 3 nice phrases for likes and dislikes in French. J'aime means I like. Je n'aime pas is I don't like. And j'adore means I love. J'aime Paris. I like Paris. J'aime les croissants. I like croissants. J'aime cette chanson. I like this song. Je n'aime pas le thé. I don't like tea. Je n'aime pas les escargots. I don't like snails. Je n'aime pas Pierre. I don't like Pierre. J'adore le chocolat. I love chocolate. J'adore la musique française. I love French music. J'adore ma famille. I love my family. And that last line, à Paris il fait beau, means in Paris the weather is lovely. Literally, beau means beautiful, which you'll know from course 1. So it literally means the weather is beautiful. You can use il fait, followed by a description to talk about the weather. Il fait froid means it's cold. Il fait chaud means it's hot. And this is only when you're talking about the weather. Il fait du vent, it's windy. Il fait du soleil, it's sunny. And our lovely new friend Marie then heads off out into the Parisian sunset, singing her cheerful chorus as she goes. So let's have one more run through with all the lyrics in both French and English. So we start with bonjour, hello. Une table pour moi, a table for me. Le serveur est sympa, the waiter is nice. Ici, voilà. Here, there you are. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. At the cafe in Paris, it's perfect, this is the life. Un café, un éclair, a coffee, an éclair, et du soleil dans l'air, and sunshine in the air. Je voudrais un café, la soupe de carottes, un éclair au chocolat. I would like a coffee, the carrot soup, a chocolate éclair. Tout est bon et voilà. Everything is good, and that's that. Merci beaucoup, à bientôt. Thank you very much. See you soon. J'adore les cafés. I love cafes. À Paris, il fait beau. In Paris, the weather is lovely. Et voilà, la chanson, the song Au Café à Paris. I hope you enjoyed ripping apart the lyrics and discovering what little treasures they can reveal to us, each one helping us move forward on our journey to learning the beautiful French language. If you'd like to listen to the full song without me blabbering on throughout it, you can find it on YouTube or on Spotify. Just type in Kieran Ball Au Café à Paris, or click on the links that I'll put somewhere below this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, s'il vous plaît. It would really help this channel to grow and reach more people who love learning languages. Merci, and I'll leave you with the full song.
Bonjour, bonjour. Une table pour moi. Le serveur est sympa. Ici, voilà. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Je voudrais un café, la soupe de carottes, un éclair au chocolat. Tout est bon et voilà. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Merci beaucoup, à bientôt. J'adore les cafés. À Paris, il fait beau. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air. Au café à Paris, c'est parfait, c'est la vie. Un café, un éclair et du soleil dans l'air.